Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you've got a trading strategy, right? But what if you could turn that idea into a machine that trades for you 24/7 without you having to lift a finger? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're building the complete blueprint using the Delta Exchange API. This is your quick start guide. So, does this feel familiar? You're glued to the charts, waiting for that perfect setup, knowing you have to be right there at your desk to hit that button. Yeah, we've all been there. It's that constant screen time, right? That's exactly why so many traders start looking for a better way to do this, an automated way. And look, this right here gets to the heart of it. This is a question from a real trader on the Delta Exchange forums, and it just nails the whole idea. It's not about just placing one order. No way. It's about building something that can scan all the charts, find opportunities across the entire market, and then act on them in a flash. So, you know what? Let's answer that question. Let's build that system piece by piece. Okay, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to grab our starter kit, learn the basic language of the API, cover that all-important security handshake, and then, the fun part, bring it all to life with some code. And stick around because at the end, we'll go over the common mistakes so you can avoid those headaches later on.
All right, first things first. Before we even think about writing a single line of code for our bot, we gotta get our tools in order. This part is all about setting you up with the essentials. We're laying down a super solid foundation for everything else we're gonna build.
So, what in the world is an API anyway? If you're not a coder, don't sweat it. Think of it like this. A REST API is just a set of rules, a special language that lets your computer program talk directly to Delta Exchange's servers. It's basically a universal translator. Your code says, hey, give me the price of Bitcoin, and the API translates that so the exchange understands. Simple as that.
Okay, so why should you care about this API specifically? Well, the perks are pretty awesome. First off, it's totally free, no hidden costs. It's also built for speed. We're talking lightning fast, so your orders get in right when you want them to. And this one is huge. It has a test net. That means you get a full-on practice sandbox to test and perfect your bot without risking any real money. A total game changer.
All right, let's get our hands dirty. Your very first practical step is to generate an API key. This is basically your personal, super secure key to the exchange's front door. Just hop into your account settings, find the option to create a new key, and then you get to decide what it's allowed to do. Maybe just read data, or maybe place trades too. Oh, and definitely whitelist your IP address for an extra lock on the door. And listen, this is critical. Your API secret, treat that thing like your bank account password. Never, ever share it with anyone or post it anywhere. Okay, we've got our keys. Now it's time to learn a few words of the language. These API building blocks are really just the basic commands, the verbs, you'll use to talk to the market. Nailing these down is absolutely key to building, well, any strategy you can dream up. Think of these three endpoints as your bot's eyes and ears. First, with /products, you can ask, hey, what can I even trade here? And it'll give you the whole list. Then, /tickers is your live feed. It's the real-time pulse of the market. And /history/candles, now this one is your time machine. It lets you go back and grab all that historical data, which is perfect for backtesting. It's exactly what that user on the forum needed to do to check their moving average strategy. Okay, let's talk about placing orders, starting with the limit order. This is your tool for absolute precision. You're basically telling the market, look, I am not paying a penny more than this price, or I'm not selling for a penny less. It's perfect for a bot that needs to get in or out at a very specific level, like a support line. The catch? Well, you get your price, but there's no guarantee the trade will actually happen if the market zips right past your level. Now, on the flip side, you've got the market order. This one is all about pure speed. It's you shouting, get me in this trade right now. I don't care about the exact price, just fill my order. For your bot, this is what you use when catching a fast-moving trend is everything, and the exact entry isn't as important. So you're trading that price precision for a guaranteed instant fill. And last but definitely not least, the stop order. This is probably the most important tool in your automated toolbox. Think of it as a sleeping order. It just sits there, waiting, and it only wakes up and becomes a live order when the market hits a specific price you've set. Now, everyone knows it's amazing for cutting your losses automatically, your safety net. But you can also use it offensively to enter a trade on a breakout, telling your bot to hop on a trend as soon as it starts moving. Okay, so you know what you want your bot to do. But how does the exchange know it's actually you telling it to buy or sell, and not someone else? This is where the authentication handshake comes in. It's like a digital secret handshake that proves it's your bot and only your bot making the request.
Now, this might look a little technical, but trust me, it's pretty straightforward. To create your unique signature, you just follow a simple recipe. You take these 5 ingredients, the request method, the exact timestamp, the path, and so on, and you just mash them all together into one long line of text. That's it. This string is completely unique for every single command you send.
So, how does that string of text become your secret handshake? Well, you take that message you just built and you mix it with your API secret, the one you're keeping super safe, right? And you use a standard bit of code, like this Python example here, to do the mixing. You can think of it like a special cryptographic blender. It spits out a unique signature that's impossible to fake, because it could only have been made with your secret key.
Last step of the handshake. You package everything up, you send your public API key, the timestamp, and that signature you just made. But here's the most important part. Look at that last point. That signature is only good for 5 seconds. 5. This is a massive security feature. It means an attacker can't just steal an old request and use it again. But it also means your computer's clock has to be perfectly, and I mean perfectly, in sync with the world's time. If it's off by even a few seconds, your requests will fail. Super important to remember.
All right, this is the moment we've been waiting for. We've got our tools, we know the lingo, and we've got our secret handshake down. Now let's bring it all together and turn our trading idea into actual living, breathing code. So let's circle back to that original forum post. The dream was to scan all the charts, right? Well, the core logic to do that is actually super elegant and simple. You just build a loop, a little worker that just goes through your list of symbols one by one, over and over again. For each symbol, it grabs the latest price data. It checks your conditions, like is the price above the moving average? And if the answer is yes, boom, it takes action. That simple loop is the engine of your own personal market scanner, working tirelessly for you around the clock.
Now, I get it. The thought of writing all that code from scratch can feel a little intimidating. But you're in luck. Delta has this amazing tool called the API Copilot. It's basically an AI sidekick that's been trained on all the official documentation. You can just describe your strategy in plain English, and it'll help you write the code to make it happen. The trick to getting great results from it, you have to be super specific. Just follow these steps. Tell it how you're connecting, tell it what programming language you want, and then describe your strategy in detail. Don't just say, make a trading bot. Say something like, using Python, write me a script that places a $100 buy limit order for Bitcoin whenever the price drops 3% below the 24-hour average. The clearer your instructions, the better the code you'll get back. Okay, every new adventure has a few bumps in the road, and a good guide doesn't just show you the easy path, they also warn you about the potholes. So this next part is all about the common pitfalls, the wisdom from the trenches, so you can learn from other people's mistakes instead of making them yourself. Here they are, the top 3 errors you're almost guaranteed to see at some point. If you see signature expired, it's your computer's clock, 99% of the time. Go sync it. Invalid API key, you probably mixed up your testnet and your live keys, or just have a typo. And unauthorized API access, that just means you forgot to check the trading box when you made your key. See, all of them are super simple fixes once you know what to look for. Now, this little nugget from the forums is just pure gold. This is a mistake that trips up so many people when they start out. You cannot attach a stop loss and a take profit, what's called a bracket order, to an order that hasn't filled yet. Your order has to be a live, active position first, and then you can add the bracket. Getting this one concept will save you, and I mean this, hours of frustration and debugging. And that's a wrap. There you have it, the complete blueprint. We've gone from the basic tools to the language, to writing the code, and even how to sidestep the common problems. You literally have everything you need right now to get started on your own automation journey. So, I guess there's only one real question left. What's the first bot you're going to build?